Sometimes I'm a little bit too spoiled with Microbrands because this is the area where watch companies tend to play around a little bit more. But Gshock as a big brand has always been bold and never shy when it comes to redesigns of their watches. As we have seen in the past year, in the past months, we've seen a complete redesign of the Frogman in the MRG lineup. And that, I think, is the top of the crop when it comes to Frogman. But you, the fans, still has some better ideas, or I think better, really better ideas than Casio. And I want to show them to you. And this is the subject of our blueprint segment: how to redesign the very best MRG Frogman. Let's begin with the analog Frogman, and this was really contentious when it first came out. There was ramblings that it pulled too much away from the signature digital Frogman look, but in time it found its audience and there are some suggestions for its improvement. It still carries that signature asymmetrical case design, but now housing an index dial with a second time zone for a sub-dial. This analog design seems to entice some fans to actually go full mechanical with a true dive bezel. So I took this Royal Navy Frogman as the base watch and took this Patty Tuna as the donor for the bezel. I felt this really matched the gray and blue color palette. I also cleaned up the remnants of the bezel guards that covers part of the dial as a finishing touch. This now has the impression of a souped-up Seiko diver. As is, it could pass off as an actual product that could be sold on store shelves. When it comes to Frogman though, we always have in our minds the tried and tested traditional configuration. It's a classic design that has endeared itself to fans throughout the decades. Those metallic accents over this digital display is just an amazing blend of retro aesthetics with accessible premium materials. This becomes the next challenge for us to check out. A viewer asked how this iconic watch would look like with an MIP modern display. The GBX model is ideal for this kind of display transplant. I used the negative display MIP for this render, but the positive display configuration is not a bad idea either. I started to work on the tone of the resin and case and prepped the image for recoloring. Green seemed to be a good idea that would be in character for the G Squad sub-collection. Neon accents further gives this watch its character and more impact. This redesign feels only as different, if not more, than the analog Frogman. It's a complete change of personality, but it also feels more like an MIP watch that got the Frogman treatment rather than the other way around. But the latest and greatest Frogman is launched through the MRG line. It's Gshock's most technologically advanced diver, and people like me are just salivating at the possibilities. First, I asked around what people wanted to see with the next model.
Design Atelier, Time Teller, what color would you like that digital MRG Frogman? Olive drab. Like olive drab or like coyote tan. Something like tactical would be tactical would be really cool.
Color swapping is a great way to refresh or continue the line without costing much in production. The olive drab hue is a great utilitarian color that can be paired with more earthy colors such as brown or mahogany. But let's give what the people want by adding the digital module on an MRG construction. If Gshock did this with the MRG Square, I don't see why it's not possible for this Frogman. Let's now complete the look with accent colors and its signature MRG touches like the applied gold badge. I also made the display more contemporary with Gshock's ability to add an LED backlight that gradually fades out. It's a more premium touch that elevates this against its predecessors. Then the bracelet is made from titanium, but unlike the MRG Square, this is a bit less polished but still luxurious in appearance. Lastly, let's involve the Japanese artisans on this bezel. You all know I love my handcrafted Gshocks, and this one will definitely need that treatment. This could be the pinnacle of both the MRG and Frogman production. All of this is possible now because of the vertical construction scheme of the new MRG Frogman. This is also a lesson for me. You watch fans, die-hard Gshock owners are teaching me what the Frogman is all about. is really essential that Casio should be paying attention to, and they would surely get more dollars from your pockets, most importantly for many brands out there. But at the same time, it continues to grow their fans as they listen to them. And we know that Gshock is listening, and hopefully they're watching this video, because these are your designs, these are your blueprints for the very best Frogman.